My filter has 6 cells. At the top is a column, the top left column is tiny to small, the top right is medium to large. That just means that some signs are tiny to small and some are medium to large. Don't get worried about what category it fits in. If you look at the far left-hand column, you see that the bottom row is called ground. That means sign that is on the ground, in the ground, up to ankle level. And at the top of that, it says high, which is any sign that's at eye level or above. And then, of course, everything between your ankles and your eyes is mid. So combining those two, you get a 6-way filter that tells you when you're doing your 360 scan and when you're walking and looking, you're going to look for large sign, medium sign, or tiny to small sign, and you're going to look on the ground at the middle level or high. And you should look at all of those. And the first use of that is simply when you're out and looking for sign, you're not just staring around and looking at whatever catches your eye. You're systematically surveying from bottom, middle, top, the area with your mindset to look for the smallest disturbance. When I use the term sign, I simply mean something that was disturbed by the presence, activity of a living critter. So the dirt time exercise, finally, you get to get out the field. Go to your tracking area and select a high probability area for finding sign. Sorry for the artwork, if you can see that. These are trees, these are shrubs, this is a grassy field. That's an ecological edge. Most of the vegetative variety will be along the edge, 10 yards either way. And guess what? Where there's vegetation, there are animals that eat it, and there are animals that eat the animals who eat vegetation. So this edge is a high probability area for locating sign. I'm going to give you a couple video examples of that, and then a few video examples of what I call surface features, which are just areas that are not an ecological edge, but they're the kind of place that critters love to go and or hang out. Here's a couple now. So here's your dirt time exercise. Go to your tracking place to a high probability area, and using that filter matrix, find one example of each of the kinds of sign. Tiny to small, medium to large, ground, mid, and high. Fill in as many of those cells as you can. It doesn't matter at this point if you know what animal made it or not, as long as it was a living being that made it. What matters is that you begin training yourself to move slowly and use the filter to examine as you go. Now, what I suggest you do if you're going to use an edge is enter the edge and do a zigzag pattern from field into trees and back and forth, covering no more distance between your legs than maybe 5 feet, 6 feet at the very most. It's called a close screen pattern. And if you do happen to run across a game trail and you want to find it, by all means, indulge yourself. And then bring home your documentation. You can study it in your field reference book. You can look up stuff on the internet. There are even sites out there on the internet that answer questions and allow postings of animal sightings and sign, etc. You might be able to find some of those that will enhance your experience. Most of all, take your time with this and have fun with it. It's not a race. Nobody will ever see how you did. It doesn't matter. Just take your time and have some fun. The objective is to be in the woods, connect with it, and really increase your understanding of all the life and drama that goes on there. Hope to see you on down the trail.